Oh, somebody liked it already. How you doing, whoever's out there? Vernon, how you doing, buddy? Thought I'd jump on for a while. I've been doing more evening streams lately, but I thought I would drop in for a while since it's getting close to playoffs. What do you got? What do you think of your Rangers there, bud? You're the Rangers, right, Vernon? I was just having a discussion with somebody about Andrew Kopp. Andrew Kopp and whether he's a second line center or not. I'm not so sure he's a second line center. Like, I mean, he can be in the right circumstances, but I'm not sure it would be a good idea to have him as a second line center with Sabanajad as my number one. I don't know. I just don't. He could prove me wrong, I guess. But like he's saying, he's a beast. He's a beast, really? Like, okay, I think that's a little bit overstating it. 27 years old. And what's his best? He's had like the best year he's had is 39 points. He's like Pajot. He's gone on a good run with the Rangers with 10 points in 9 games. But I mean, he hasn't been a point a game player his whole career. He's just all of a sudden going to become hey, how you doing? A point a game player? I don't know. I find that hard to believe. We'll see. But I mean, I think you're expecting a lot if you think he's going to continue on being a point a game player in the NHL. I think you're gambling a lot. I don't know. I mean, you could they could pay him. I just don't see him as a second line center. I don't. I don't. I think he can be a tweener. He's a good guy to have like your third, second. He can play wing. He's a great utility guy. But I honestly don't think he's going to hold up a point a game for an extended period of time. He just has never done it in his career. And he's had the opportunities in Winnipeg to do it. So, but anyways, how you doing, Burden? And they still got to sign him anyways. So somebody's going to overpay on the open market for Kopp, for sure. Oilers, Oilers man on the radio. How you doing, buddy? In the stream last night. That was fun. Oilers pulled one out. Um, so we're getting to the point where really the talk is all about the playoffs, right? And to me, now the most interesting matchup right now, for sure, by far to me. I don't know, maybe not by far. I haven't looked close enough, but Carolina versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay does what they always do. They just kind of float through the regular season. And now Carolina, who has like basically been gunning to be the best, is going to have to go against, possibly go against a Tampa team that we know can turn it on in the playoffs. And it makes you wonder, like, I can't go against Tampa. I mean, I wouldn't want, if I'm Tampa, I wouldn't want to go up against Carolina. They're a freaking machine. Like, they play like a well-oiled machine when they're playing at the top of their game. But that being said, I mean, Tampa has shown it over and, several times. After the Columbus series, Tampa has showed that they can turn it on in the playoffs in an instant. So the question is, if Tampa plays at the top of their game and Carolina plays at the top of their game, who's most likely to win that series? And it's a little difficult to hash out because Kucherov has not played at the top of his game since he's come back. Stamkos has had his best year in a while. And then, you've got a lot of guys that aren't there that were there before, like Yanni Gourde. Who else am I missing? You got Yanni Gourde. Who else left? Oh, Coleman. But they replaced him with guys like Perry, Hagel, and Maroon's always there, and you got the Perry-Maroon combination. Carolina is slick. They are one of the best positional, maybe the best positional teams out there. As far as, playing as a unit in a perfect, they're always in the right place. Their anticipation is unbelievable. They anticipate the play as good, if not better, than anybody out there. They can shut it down if they need to. Anderson has mostly been great, but they don't have the experience of Tampa Bay. And if Tampa Bay, Buffalo signed Power. How you doing, Weichel? Thanks for coming in. Tampa Bay's got the character, is what I'm trying to say. And that's what's scary. That's what pushes me to pick Tampa Bay, as much as I hate to say it, because I don't want Tampa Bay to win that series. I love Rod Brind'Amour. I love Carolina. I would hate to see them go out in the first round this year. But the truth is, they don't have the grizzled veterans that a team usually needs to win a cup. And Anderson's been good most of the year, but I still question, I don't know. Well, I mean, we're talking about Vasilevsky here. And, you might say, well, look at Tampa Bay the last couple of games or whatever, but they do this in the regular season all the time. All the time. When the playoffs come, guys like Stamkos, Kucherov point at the top of their game, playing top of their game playoff hockey. I can't see Carolina winning that series. Hello, Mark Brown. How you doing? I'm having an argument there. In the what Rangers group is that in? Group is that? True Blue New York Rangers fans and guys. What do you think? Kopp is a true number 2 center, Mark Brown? Is that the guy you want as your future number 2 center for the long term? It's looking like the Leafs can beat the Bruins. Yeah. Because they have semi-goaltending issues as well. But I think it would be one hell of a series. But it does look like they could beat them. I mean, I would love to say that Tampa Bay's aggressive and Florida's aggressive offensive style is going to win them, could win them a cup. Because I want it to be true, but it's show how many the playoffs have shown over and over and over and over and over again that it's not. That's the problem, you know. I want it to be true. I really would love a high octane offense like Toronto and Florida, who is basically thrives off offensive pressure to win a cup. Hasn't happened till since the Edmonton Oilers, probably. I mean, it's really hard to go against the Lightning until you see otherwise, like Projo says. Like, it's pretty hard to go against them until they see otherwise. Like, you can't make any judgment of the regular season with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Last year, they looked like crap all regular season. They just, coasted into the playoffs, and that was it. Well, I mean, LA couldn't keep up with their speed last night. That's the thing. Now, the question is, because they could play each other again. Well, thanks for coming in, Bill. Awesome to have you. The question is Edmonton going to win? Like, you notice when Edmonton slowed down, LA controlled the play, right? Edmonton thrives on speed. It's the only way they can win. They have to outspeed the opposition. And when the playoffs come, are they going to be able to do that? For a 7-game series against any team, really. And like I've been saying all along about is that it's the playoffs have shown us over and over and over again that it doesn't work that way. It just no team that plays an aggressive offensive style with a weak defense wins in the playoffs. None. Since Woodcroft basically did what I mean. Okay, what Woodcroft has done is said we're gonna make the playoffs, and we got to go with the strengths that we have and make the playoffs. What Tippett did was not really wrong either. Tippett knows that you're not going to win the playoffs the way they're playing. You're not. Now, the problem is they probably weren't going to make the playoffs trying to play a way that you're going to win in the playoffs. And that is not anyone's fault but Holland's. That's just poor. Their defense is bad. And the only way they can win is they have to play a high pressure offense that keeps the puck in the other team's zone more than their own. which is what you want to do anyways. But in the playoffs, that's next to impossible to do in a 7-game series on a regular basis. You just get too tired, man. I mean, it's, I hate to say it, but the playoffs are not made for the type of hockey that we all like to watch. We enjoy it because it's the playoffs and every shot matters. But the teams that win in playoffs, including Tampa Bay, they learned how to play a shutdown type defense when they needed to. And if you don't have it, you're not going to make it. You're not going to win in the playoffs. It's not. Or you have a super elite goaltender like Price. I'm having another discussion. But yeah, I mean, you gotta give Woodcroft did what I think Tippett could do what Woodcroft did. He just wouldn't. He refused to. Tippett just refused. It's basically, if you don't have me here to, if you're not going to provide me with people that can play the way you need to win in the playoffs, then there's no use having me here. I'm not going to just play a way that's going to make the playoffs. Where Woodcroft is like, well, let's make the playoff, boys. And the only way we're going to do that is if we're going to play a heavy possession offensive game. Because our defense will, I mean, he's not going to say this out loud, but they can't play a 1-1-3 if they need to. They can't. They're gonna die on a 1-1-3. They'll get destroyed in a 1-1-3 defense. Barry wouldn't even know what it means. I don't think Barry would be like talking Chinese to Barry about 1-1-3 defense. Well, he's 40 years old, right, Bill? He's 40 years old, so I mean, when he was in Arizona, he was a beast, man. He was an absolute beast. It's unfortunate, like he would have went down as one of the best, probably been a Hall of Famer if he wasn't in Arizona most of his career, I think. It's just he's 40. I mean, and they can't sign him again. I don't know what they're going to do with their goaltending next year. I don't know. Oh, I didn't see that. I mean, I think you're probably right. Kopp is better than Strome. Not offensively, of course, but as an overall player. But I also don't think Strome is really a guy I want in my second line either. Yeah. Yeah, and that Nashville team is freaking got a lot of heart, man. Talk about a great coach, Hines. Yeah, I mean they play with a lot of heart. You got to wonder, like, I wouldn't want to be a team that's. Okay, what was the name? What was the name of the one that you said? The Rangers site I was on is it's the true. Oh, maybe not. Just wait, I'll see if I can find it. View post. Oh, it's just New York Rangers. It just says New York Rangers. Oh no, that's not it. Where was it? Here. Yeah, Cop is a beast, he said. True blue New York Rangers fans. That's what it was. I mean, they're one of those teams that could, you know, like if there's a surprise team. Nashville has been playing playoff hockey all year, like all year. If you gave the Oilers Nashville's defense, they would win a cup, I would think. Forget about even if they had Smith in, even with the goaltending. Josi, Eklund, you know, even with the goaltending. Very seldom do you say that I think that, you know, like if I were to take, I would normally take a goaltender over defense, but with the Oilers, in the Oilers case, I would rather take Nashville's defense. And Saros has been extremely good, don't get me wrong. And having Saros would be great, but I don't think Saros would make up for their defense in Oilers' defense either. But I think Nashville's defense on the Oilers, they would be a contender for sure, even if they had Smith in net. I don't know if they would win it, but they would have much more of a chance to win it than they do now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what Nashville's gonna do. Poyle always he's very surprising. He'll do things in like I didn't like he does things where you don't see coming. He brought Granlund back and you know, he picked up Duchesne when nobody really saw that coming. Like he does off the wall stuff. What was I looking for? The heck was I just talking about? My head just went like totally lost. Yeah, that's E-Money. E-Money's come on here before. Pretty much is, right? Is there anybody else even close? McAvoy? McAvoy's got to get one eventually, but right now it's probably Josie, and it's probably not going to change. Because, I mean, perception is that Josie doesn't have as good a defense to work with either. You know, but if he's 13 away from 100 points. I mean, that's just unheard of for a defenseman. But a lot of that has to do with Colorado is taking it easy in the second half. Like they're just making sure they don't get injured and stuff like that. They're just so good that they can get away with that. It's crazy. I don't know why I'm yawning. So yeah, I mean, 75 points in 65 games for Makar. And Josie just in the second half has gone off. Just totally gone off. Hey, Leaf Static. Nice. Yeah, he broke. Yossi's got 81 points in 66 games. I mean, that's pretty sick. Almost certainly they're probably gonna give it to Yossi. Points matter too so much. So 1.23 goals points a game, leads his team by 20. Leads his team, defenseman leading his team in offense. Almost for sure it's going to be Yossi. Yeah, I mean, how can you not love Roman Yossi? He's incredible. No, I think it was last night. Yeah, he broke Gwendol Clark's record of 55 goals. Hasn't, like, how many years has it been since they had that? Yeah, he gets the Norris for sure right now, which is amazing because, I mean, I thought for sure Makar had it this year, but he's just doing. Yossi is just doing incredible stuff in Nashville. Well, I mean, this year you got to give it to him as the best defenseman, I think. I mean, and that's amazing to wrestle it away from Makar. Well, I mean, I think if they play Boston, the thing about Toronto is, and I mentioned it before. Hey, thanks for coming in, Joey. The thing about Boston, and I mentioned it before, Toronto, is that their top six is so tight knit. Like when they're on a roll offensively in the offensive zone, they're almost untouchable when they play keep away, those guys. And then of course you got Matthew's shot is just absolutely stupid. I don't think I've seen a guy so confident in shooting since Mike Bossy. Maybe Ovechkin, but even yeah, like Mike Bossy was actually, I felt more confident in his shooting than even Ovechkin. Like that guy looked like when he scored, it was like, yeah, of course they scored. That's, you know what I mean? Like he was so confident in his shooting. He made you feel like it was going in before he shot it. Actually, I couldn't say that all the time about Ovechkin. Ovechkin just got tons of shots and he had a killer shot, and eventually they would go in. But guys like Mike Bossy and Matthews, it just totally feels like they are. It totally feels like they know it's going in before it does. Yeah, the Leafs goalies is the problem. It really is, right? Oh, thanks for coming in, man. The Leafs goalies is the problem, no doubt about that. Yes, Campbell is definitely a big question mark of whether he's going to be. But I mean I still say Carolina. Edmonton and Calgary? Can that happen? Yeah, I don't think that can happen. I mean, Calgary is unless Edmonton really craps a bed here and Nashville picks it up because they're going to play the first wild card team, which would be Nashville. I Nashville Calgary that I think that's got 7-game series written all over it. I don't know who Blackenberg is. I didn't look at that. I saw it, but I didn't look at who he was. But that Nashville series seems to have like it feels like it's got 7-game series written all over it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nashville won that, but I mean the better team is Calgary as far as shooters are concerned. But the thing is with Nashville, like I said, is they've been playing playoff hockey. Like they're used to playoff hockey. They don't need to get into the groove of playoff hockey. Like their game is very much a playoff hockey style game. You think Tampa Bay is going to come back? I don't know, man. Tampa Bay looks like ass. They I don't think like Tampa Bay looks like they just can't get into the regular season at all. They just whatever. Oh, we'll play whoever. Let's just get the playoffs going and let's go. Because I mean, teams like Tampa Bay, they don't care about winning a round or whatever. Like give me for to them it's like give us the best team right in the first round. We don't care cuz you're going to have to beat them anyways. Like they know that they pretty much know that once you get into the final rounds, there's no weak teams anyways. So it just seems like they're like so not caring about the regular season. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I thought I would come on for a while, and sorry guys for not coming on this week. Pretty much, I had my back go out on me, and I was having trouble sitting down. I didn't. I went on stream last night. I got to the chiropractor and started feeling good yesterday, so I tried to stream last night. And then my wife is now a Canadian citizen now. She got her Canadian citizenship. Do you think Tampa will lose in the first round, Weichel? Well, I mean, Fleury had a bad game the last time they played. However, they did kind of leave him out to dry. But I mean, if Fleury is at the top of his game, I certainly think that they could go on a run. Anytime you got Fleury, it was the perfect pickup to get, because they don't really have the center depth to beat anybody. Their defense is good, but not spectacular. Like, their team is just overall good. But you got Fleury there. If you're going to just say, hey, we might as well give it, like, if you're going to give yourself the best shot and give up as little as possible, they made the perfect move. Just perfect move. Should go and review the next series. My wife won't go on camera. My wife won't go on camera. Caroline won't go on the camera. I don't know why. I've been saying that for you. Yeah, you didn't have to listen to Shannon for that, Bill. I've been saying that the whole time. Although Shannon's probably got actual information. I was just seemed logical to me that he'd be going back to Pittsburgh for sure. What I find cool is that a lot of people that come on here listen to Shannon too, because that's a big compliment for me, because Shannon is the bomb. He's awesome. No, she's not a Habs fan. She's from the Philippines, so she didn't know anything really much about hockey until she came here. And she is a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. She's a Sidney Crosby fan. Sidney Crosby is her favorite. But she does root for the Edmonton Oilers with me too. But neither one of my son or Carol, my wife, are hockey fans, like hockey people, not even really sports people, actually. She's going to be a Habs fan? Why? Oh, Crosby to, yeah, maybe. You listen to everyone? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I used to listen to Shannon quite a bit. He was not the reason, but like watching him is where I got, I kind of went, I think I could do something like that, so. Oh shit, Tiger Woods hit a bogey. I'm watching Masters right now. It looks like Tiger should make the cut. So, what do we got? So right now it'd be Calgary versus Nashville. We talked about that. I don't see Dallas, like, Colorado should ruin Dallas if that's what it's going to be, or Vegas. Minnesota, St. Louis. I got to see more of Fleury. I want to see Fleury like just rocking the joint. if Fleury gets up to where he can be, I think Minnesota beats St. Louis. But I mean, I got to see him get to where. Oh no, they're not sick of sports. They're awesome that way. They're very supportive. They don't care that I watch a lot of sports at all. It doesn't bother them a bit. I do lots of stuff outside of hockey with them, so it's fine. But yeah, my wife doesn't care at all. Like she doesn't. She's happy. The opposite. She's very happy that I have something that I like. So it's cool that way. Well, what I used to listen to Shannon, and then I used to have my own ideas listening to Shannon, and I used to think about it, and that's when I started going. I should just maybe do some videos or. Oh yeah, I don't even have my hat on. There we go. Then I thought I should start doing some videos because I would like sometimes I would agree with Shannon, sometimes I disagree. We all disagree with each other, whatever the case may be. Although Shannon doesn't really give his opinion all that much. Like he more or less just he kind of lets you read between the lines sometimes a little bit. Yeah, I know, right? My Whalers hat. Yeah. He doesn't really give your opinion much, but he's very informative. The guy is like a wealth of information. It's incredible. He gets into such detail of the games and what happened and how it's honestly it's a gift that I don't have. I'm not a very detail. I'm not inspired by detail. He is, and he's really, really, really good at it. But in the East, I want to see the I want to see the Tampa Carolina series if that were to happen, which looks like it's very possible it could. Tampa is what? See, I should watch Shannon because he'll tell you who's got the best. He'll tell you who's got the best chance moving ahead here if you look at the last 10 games. But we can look at that right now. Yeah, Blue Jays play tonight for sure. That's going to be cool. Uh, so Colorado's got Winnipeg tonight. Oh, no, not Colorado. Tampa is what I'm looking for. Tampa, Tampa, Tampa. So Tampa has Washington, who they just lost to after. No, sorry, they have Buffalo after this. See, I have a feeling Tampa kind of plays possum a bit too. Then see, they took it easy against a lot of stiff competition, and they lost. And now they got like Buffalo, Dallas, Anaheim, Winnipeg. Like they didn't have to exert a lot of energy. It was like, all right, we're gonna make the playoffs anyways. We're not gonna kick our ass and risk injury against these big teams. They got Detroit, then Toronto, Nashville, Florida. So I mean, Toronto and Florida are tough games, but and maybe even Nashville, I guess. But for the next little while, they got some pretty easy competition to keep themselves in the race. They pace themselves. Tampa paces themselves through the season, and they learned that from the cups that they got. I don't. I think I gotta go. I don't. I think I gotta go with Boston. I just don't know when Tampa's going to decide to play. Is it going to be tonight? Like they're not playing up to their abilities, so I faded the game. I uh, I faded the game. I could even see a draw. I'm not sure. I didn't have anything on the game. I could see over. I could see under. Let me see what the matchup looks like. Like Tampa hasn't won in what, 3? Are they gonna now have some pride and play? Like they've been annoying to watch. Boston, on the other hand, they lost against Detroit in a bad spot. And it looks like they were kind of looking ahead to Tampa, which leads me to believe that they were really they really want to win that game. Just because, to make a statement or what have you. Before that, they were chewing on a bunch of. They beat Tampa the last time they played 3-2. And I believe that was in Boston. And now they're going into Tampa, who's lost 3 straight. Okay, you're taking Tampa. I don't think they've lost more than 3 straight all year. No, they haven't. Tampa has not lost more than 3 straight all year. And now they're home. They were home. They played Montreal and Toronto. Maybe it gets to the point where Tampa is getting actually kind of embarrassed. They've lost they've lost their last 2 home games. So this could be the wake-up spot for them. Like even teams that are taking it easy. The Lightning 4-3. What's the juice on that? Is Tampa Bay laying heavy juice there? Minus 150. See, I really don't like laying that kind of juice on a 10. You're minus 150. Minus 150 for a team that's lost 3 in a row against a Boston team that is everybody going to be in the lineup for Boston? Who's Eric Hall? Mark McLaughlin. What the heck? Who's out? Oh, David Pasternak is still out. Okay, yeah. David Pasternak is still out. Yeah, you got to go Tampa Bay. You got to think Tampa Bay is going to wake up here. I think I'll put a little on Tampa Bay. they've just pissed me off. Tampa Bay pisses me off in the regular season. They don't win in spots when they should. But there's no Pasternak for Boston. Tampa Bay has lost two at home now. I mean, any team, apparently besides the Chicago Blackhawks don't even freaking. That loss against Seattle last night, I am not betting Chicago Blackhawks win another game this year. No way. Marian Hossa retirement night against a Seattle team on a back-to-back. And it's not the fact that they lost. If you watch that game, that was one of the laziest games I have seen in a long time, man. They hard on the stick. They practically didn't even hold their stick tight. It was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And now they're saying that Kane and Taves are going to stay there, which I can only imagine it's because they won't waive their no trade clause. Because if it's me, I'm shipping them both out after that performance. I'm shipping everybody. I would have been livid. I would have been livid as a coach, an owner, a manager after what I saw last night. Like I didn't see the post-game conference, but I'll tell you what, it couldn't have been much because their coach, their King, should have been spitting in the media last night. He should have been like, "This is disgraceful. I'm embarrassed that we performed like this in front of such a great Hall of Famer like Hossa, who's getting, and our fans. I'm embarrassed for our fans. We're embarrassed for ourselves. And they should be embarrassed for themselves. They should vocally be embarrassed about the performance last night. It was horrible. Horrible. The Chicago Blackhawks, I'm not touching them for the rest of the year, there's 10 games? I don't know who they're going to beat, but they're not beating anybody like that. Not a single team out there. Are they going to beat the way they played last night? And I've seen them play like something. It was probably the worst I saw them play all year, and they played pretty bad all year. But that was absolutely pathetic. So anyways, I'll take Tampa Bay tonight after all that. But I mean, I just couldn't get over it. I'm watching the game going, like Marian Hossa, who just got his name retired to the rafters. Won cups with Chicago, is now watching the game, and they are playing with no effort whatsoever. Nothing. If I was Marian Hossa, I would feel awkward, embarrassed, almost. Like I would feel embarrassed. Like, really, guys? Like that's all you got? My gosh. I don't care what team you are. You have one of your legends go up to the rafters. Maybe the first period, the mood swing has to change a bit. But for a whole game, and even the first period, like they would not. You could so easily get the puck away from a Chicago Blackhawk player last night. Like anybody could have. Tyson Barrie, anybody could have got a puck away from Chicago last night, especially in the offensive zone. They went into a corner basically like there was kryptonite in it. I didn't realize Pasternak wasn't in tonight, so I suppose you got to go with Boston, but it's Tampa's looked so bad. So bad. Trent Frederick will be in tonight. But Mark McLaughlin, 6 feet, 183. Oh, he NCAA. Was he drafted? Undrafted, so they signed him, 22 years old. As far as the other games, I mean, if Florida doesn't spank Buffalo, I don't know what the world is. I don't even know what the world is anymore if that's the case. Buffalo has played a lot of hockey as of late, I think. Three games in 4 nights on a back-to-back after Carolina. Then they got Tampa Bay 2 days after that. Florida. The bad part about the Florida game is they got Nashville right after that. But, I mean, they had 2 days off after just barely beating Toronto. About the only thing I could say here is that maybe Florida just doesn't take this game seriously. But besides that, I mean, they should destroy Buffalo. It's going to be Tokarski and that. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, mean girl. How you doing? What do you got to say? What do you got to say, girl? I was just talking about Florida spanking the Sabres. We got Lightning beating Boston tonight. What do you got to say? Minnesota, St. Louis, I mean, I don't know. It's a toss-up. Husso and net. Probably Fleury. Has it been... I mean, I don't want to, it's hard for me to go, no, it's Talbot, actually. I think they're making a mistake there. They should be playing Fleury full on. Pavel Francouz in for Avalanche. I don't think that matters all that much. There's another one, the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets have no heart at all. Like there is something wrong in that organization room, whatever. Like there must be too many. I don't know what's happened with there, but it's broken down over time. There's so many questions when it comes to what was Laine right? Laine would basically said that there was a problem in the room. Like Laine said that in his own words that like Wheeler and Scheifele were getting what they say goes. Basically. That and he came off as some whiny Finnish guy or whatever. I don't know why you have to bring up Finnish there, but whiny guy. And now look at it. It's crumbling in Winnipeg. A must-win game against the Detroit Red Wings on a back-to-back, and they get outworked by the Detroit Red Wings. Wow. So Colorado doesn't need this game tonight. They're playing Francouz, who has played well. I think I got to probably just push the over here. But I just don't think Winnipeg has anything in them. I don't know. Are they going to play up tonight? Are they going to play with any pride? Did they play down to Detroit and now they're going to play up to Colorado? I see losses like that against Detroit, and I mean, those are defining games where Like, there's no reason why you play down to Detroit when you have a chance at a playoff spot. You just got to keep on trying to win. And they lost to LA. They got blown out against Toronto. Like, this team is giving up, man. I have they lost 3 all year? How many? Yeah, they lost 5, mostly on the road. But this was at home. They lost their last 2 at home, and now it's their 3rd at home. I mean, you should probably have some pride here. You don't want to lose 3 at home. Now I'm getting a funny feeling about that game. Okay, Mark, how you doing? Now I got a funny feeling about that game. Can they muster up enough pride? But I mean, it tells me that for me, if you couldn't do it against Detroit, I doubt they're going to do it against Colorado. I mean, there couldn't have been a bigger game of the year, and they just flubbed it completely. So now you're going to all of a sudden play hard for Colorado? I don't know. I don't think Lowry is the answer there. Hi, Lauren. How you doing, buddy? I got Colorado in regulation. I mean, how do you not take Colorado in regulation there? Bowen Byram is coming back in the lineup again now. I mean, everybody's healthy here for the last 10 games. I'm sure Colorado's going to want to go into the playoffs hot. I don't think they care so much about the President's Trophy, but I mean, you are going to play Dallas in your first round. That you couldn't get probably an easier series than that, right? And they don't even have to try that hard against Winnipeg. Yeah, they scared the crap out of me yesterday, man. So the Islanders tonight. Now, are they out of they're out of their scoring slump now, right? From the Buffalo. They got all those goals in the third period. They all started going in. They got their flow, and they're going to spank the crap out of the Islanders tonight, right, Lauren? Like, tell me it's so. There's no way they're letting that Islanders. I don't care if you're on a back-to-back. Like, how much have they been playing, really? 3 games in 4 nights, okay, but 2 of them have been at home. The Islanders were in Dallas, had 2 days off, and now play the Canes and then play St. Louis tomorrow. And they're playing the kid Sorokin tonight, who hasn't played in a while. I got to think the Canes are going to win this game. I got to think the Canes are going to win this game. Well, the first one, they completely outplayed Buffalo and they lost. Anderson didn't have his best game. The second one, Ranta, I didn't see the first 2 goals, but I mean, Buffalo potted too early. And then I should have put it in because I was confident they were going to come back in that game. Because there's no way that Carolina is going to lose back-to-back to the Buffalo Sabres. There's just no way. I couldn't imagine them losing to Buffalo twice in a row. This game is a bigger question mark for me, though. So they got Domi up on the left side with Trocheck and Teravainen now. Nietzsche's is on the fourth line now. Ouch. Ouch. They got Nietzsche's on the fourth line now. You were saying that Nietzsche's like, yeah, I don't. It looks like he hit a wall here for a bit. So what do you think, Lauren? Right now, Carolina would play Tampa Bay. I think I had Carolina beating a lot of teams, but I'm not sure about Tampa Bay, man. I'm not sure about Tampa Bay. That's not the team I would have liked to have seen them play first. Yeah, I mean, like, you can't judge the regular season with Tampa Bay. Their regular season means, like, absolutely nothing. Except for unless they don't make the playoffs, then it means something. But besides that, it means little to nothing. They showed us last year that you can basically coast through the regular season and turn it on right when you need it. So they can probably do it again. I would much rather have seen Toronto. I think they would beat Toronto for sure. But I suppose you got to beat Tampa Bay eventually, unless somebody else gets lucky and beats them. New York Rangers and Pittsburgh. Again, I think like Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh are playing a little bit of possum, honestly. Yeah, I mean they'll probably have to face Tampa Bay anyways. But the more I look at it, the more I don't know. I can't take the Canes against Tampa Bay. I got fooled by that last year. I didn't take Tampa Bay to win the cup because I said there's no way they're going to be able to turn it on a dime like that and all that stuff like that. And I was wrong. They did. So maybe this is the year that they can't turn it on a dime. I don't know, but they already showed they could. And if they do turn it on and play at the top of their game, on paper, Tampa Bay's a better team. Man for man, Tampa Bay is the better team. I would love to see Carolina win that series. And their systematic defense just might be able to do it. It might be able to do it. The defense that they play is absolutely fantastic. I freaking when they are clicking at 100%, their man-on-man defense is like almost untouchable, really. So the Leafs signed another undersized winger. In Max Ellis. They need more undersized wingers in their system. Leafs signed Axel Rindell. Another undersized defenseman, 5'10", 174, Rindell. Anyways, I should know on Friday. I guess I'm done. I think that's it, Lauren. Thanks for coming in. I just popped in for a bit. I'm going to be doing a stream sometime this weekend, probably. But as for now, I should probably get some stuff cleaned up here and go pick up the little lady. Thanks for talking, Lauren. We'll talk to you later, my friend. I'll be watching for the streams I'm going to do this weekend. Okay, bye.